Hey you guys, you have had a fantastic day today. I am so excited that I get to share yet another Monday night with you guys. Please drop how long you've been married down into the comment section. If you are married, if you are not, drop that down in the comment section too. I always love to see who I'm talking to, who's tuning in with me. It's your chance to join in. Ow. I am Nika Arnold Scott, and welcome to the Wifey Rehab. If you are joining me for the very first time, or if you are a repeat Wifey Rehab watcher, you already know how I like to do it. Drop down in the comment section if you are married. My girl Erica is a wifey in training, but she's always tuning in. If you've been married 5 years, 10 years, 1 year, engaged, I want to know. Even if you single, honey, drop hashtag I'm single but looking, okay? Because you know if you single and looking, then listen, one day you're gonna be a wifey, okay? Earlier in the week, I had put up a post about married people judging single people. People were chiming in on that, hitting me up like, Nika, like this is a conversation that needs to be had. You know, married people are always leaving single people out, and then the single people, you know, always got something to say about the married people. So we're gonna talk about it tonight, okay? So here's my thing. My thing is, sometimes married people forget how it was to be single. You know what I'm saying? And the struggle and the desire that you had to, you know, to want to be married or to want to settle down, or, you know, whatever the case may be. And I don't know what happens to some married people. Like, they get this holier than thou type of mentality. Like, once they get a man and he put a ring on it, like, you forgot like what the single struggle was, you know? And so I think that that's so unfair. And I also think that it's unfair that, you know, I'm in a group also, and this is what sparked that. So let me give y'all the backstory. So what sparked that was, I'm in a group with married people, and so this single person was like, you know, I feel like we get left out of the conversation. And one of the persons responded, well, this is a married group, so if you're not married, why are you in the group? And I was like, ew, like, that's so nasty. Like, if I was a single person and I desire to be married, I would join a married group. I want to see, you know, what conversations married people are having. Like, I want to see other married people celebrating marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm hanging with a bunch of single people, like, we're all single. We're doing what single people do. But if we believe that, you know what, you should hang with people that are already where you want to go, I just believe as a single person that it's okay to hang with married people that love being married. Let's be clear on that. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure that you are in the company of people that love being married. Like, they love their spouse, like they honor and respect their spouse, because that teaches you like what marriage is all about. Like the wedding and all of that, that's the easy part. You know what I'm saying? And so I said that I think that if married people were to include single people in more in the conversation, we would have a lot more happily married people than bitterly divorced people. That's what I said. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because people always go into marriage with a false perception of what marriage is. You know what I'm saying? Or we think that, oh, well, you know, we have these terms that we call, you know, the wives of the husband. Oh, that's my old ball and chain, you know, and all these derogatory things. So that doesn't make marriage appealing to single people. And then there's just some married people that wish they were single, so they hating on the single people, you know, trying to make them feel bad for being single because you chose wrong. I'm just saying, like, it's out there. You know what I'm saying? I think that single people should definitely be included in on the conversation, because I think that the more you know about marriage for real and the work that is required in a marriage, I think that you would stay single a lot longer so that you can get yourself right. You know what I'm saying? This whole thing of, oh, you got a whole wife. No, have a whole wife for real. A wife that's whole and healed and that doesn't have all of these other issues that could cause problems in your marriage because you a whole man. Like, we say these things, oh, girl, you got a whole husband. No, he half a husband because he don't have his stuff together. Or no, you half a wife because you don't have your stuff together. Like, you still out in the streets trying to act like you single, ma'am. You know, so I think that if we included single people on the marriage conversation, man, I think that there would be more happily married people. Notice I did not say perfect marriages, because there is no such thing as a perfect marriage. I don't care if you feel like you met your soulmate, like he was just created yesterday for you and he don't have no issues, none of that. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is ever perfect. However, I believe everything is workable. As long as y'all not bashing each other heads and, you know, and being violent and, you know, all of that stuff. I believe that everything is workable. Do I think that a marriage can survive infidelity? I absolutely do. You know what I'm saying? Do I think that a marriage can survive infertility? I definitely do. You know what I'm saying? Do I think a marriage can survive difference of opinions, being raised differently with different belief systems? I absolutely do. So if we included single people in on these conversations, they won't feel like they're so alone and that they're missing out on so much because you get married, you know, you can't do all of these things, so you might as well, like, all of this stuff is some bull. It's some bull. Like, if you great when you married, when you become married, like, sis, you still gonna be great. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't stop being great just because you get married. Hello? He is supposed to enhance you and you enhance him. Like, I don't know where all of this stuff is coming from. Like, I don't know why people think that once you get married, like, your whole life stops. Like, that thing gets better, man. It's supposed to anyway. That's why I said, like, you gotta be whole and you gotta be ready for marriage. People get married for various reasons. I said here before that I don't believe that people should get married just because of love, because guess what? In 5 years, you're going to feel like you don't love that joker. Then what? Or in 5 years, that joker going to feel like he don't love you, and then what? What else do you have? See, these are conversations that we should have and include single people on, because they feel like, oh, I haven't fallen in love yet. Or, you know, they're expecting all of these sparks because of these posts that people make and because of all this surfacey, shallow conversations that we have, and we don't tell them about the work. Because I think that if we included single people in on the conversation, like I said, they will understand the work that is required to be married. Like, it's one thing to be, you know, married, but it's a whole other thing to be a wife, because a paper makes you married. The license makes you married. But that does not mean that you automatically become a wife. It's a difference. A good wife, an attentive wife. You know what I'm saying? A wife that, you know, listen, does things that she don't want to do when she don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? But we exclude single people, man, and I think that it's just dead dog wrong. Men, it's women, it's Christians, it's atheists, it's, you know, Jews. It's, man, like, come on. Like, where is the inclusion? Why are we so segregated? Like, what? I don't understand. Like, one side is better than the other. You know, team married, team single. Like, I don't get it. And that's why so many people are divorcing, because it's not, being married to them doesn't look like what other people showed them that it was supposed to be. Does God not bless me because I'm not married? You know that religious people are really, really, really the root of why a lot of people are so unhappy, why they are so lost in their thinking, right? Why they're so lost in their spiritual connection, because when you start adding all of this other stuff, like, people feel like they will never add up, like they're never good enough, like they will never be good enough to hold this title, you know. So it's like, well damn, and where does that leave me? I'm not married, so am I just damned? You know, because there's such a blessing. You know what I'm saying? So I just think, like, man, like, this is a conversation that needs to be had. That's why I was like, man, all of these groups and all of these people that are in these groups that are saying these things, that are keeping other people bound up and they can't really, you know, freely think for themselves. I think it's sad because they can't even really ask the questions that they want to ask, because they're so afraid that they're going to get beat over the head with your personal theology. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's so unfair, because I believe that married people have so much to share, so much truth, and so much insight to share. But people close their ears, single people close their ears because, like, dude, like, you too much. And, like, I would be so discouraged. You know what I'm saying? I would be so discouraged, and I would feel like there's no place for me, right? I would only feel like, okay, I would be able to belong, like, once I'm married. You know, I feel like once I'm married or once I have children, there's this group that I can belong to, which is a bunch of bull to me. This is just Nika's personal opinion. Okay, whole nother subject for a whole nother day. Anyway, what do y'all think? Do you think that married people should include single people in on marriage conversations versus just having these, you know, marriage hubs where single people feel excluded, you know? And that's why, even like on the Wifey Rehab, I'm like, listen, my heart beats, you know, for women, right? Now, more specifically, married women. However, I'm not excluding single women, divorced women from this conversation, because I just believe there's always something to be learned, you know, to gain from this open dialogue. But people don't want to be real. Like, you want to sit in your house behind your closed doors like everything is perfect, or you went through hell and now you guys are in a happy place, but you don't want to share how that hell brought you to happiness. Because sometimes hell brings you to happiness. And this is not something that somebody told me. Yo, like, this is something that I literally walked through on my own. Like, I had to walk through my own personal hell in order to reach my happiness within myself first. Let's be clear. Within myself first. And then within my marriage. Because I believe that your marriage is ultimately an outward expression of how you are and how you feel on the inside and how you view self. That's what I believe. And I believe that based on my personal experience and my personal evaluation of myself. I had to self-evaluate. Like, Nika, what is wrong with you? Like, why are you out here acting like you crazy? Like, you don't have a whole husband, right? So it's a self-evaluation that you have to do. But when you're single, how do you do that? You do that among married people that can guide you. Happily married people. Don't be talking to no bitter people. Don't be talking to no people, you know, to no women that, you know, talk to their husband about their husband and to other people about their husband like he's some trash. Don't talk to them. Those are not the ones that I'm talking about. That's not your tribe, okay? I'm talking about women that have gone through some things, that have found their way, you know, from hell to happiness. Those women. Those are the women that can tell you, you know, how to get suited and booted for what's to come. If you've been married for any amount of time, man, like hell is gonna come. I don't care how, happy you guys are, how in love you are. I don't care how much sex you have. I don't care how many trips you go on. I don't care what kind of house you live in, what kind of car you drive, where y'all eat, who clean your house. I don't care about none of that. Trouble, hell, hurt, that stuff does not discriminate. Please hear me, okay? Hell has no no do not disturb, no, this type of person only. Like, hell welcomes everybody. Everybody is welcome in hell, okay? Let's be clear. So every person has experienced their own private hell within themselves, within their marriage, or what have you. But it's how you come out of that. It's how you work your way out of that. And these are the conversations that single people need to be in on, so that single people can understand just because you become married doesn't automatically mean that you are the happiest that you will ever be in your life. That's some bull. The truth of it is, marriage exposes you. So as a single person, you need to know that, if you got some issues, if you got some daddy issues, it's going to show up in your marriage. If you got mommy issues, it's going to show up in your marriage. If you have insecurity issues, it's going to show up in your marriage. If you a cheater, it's going to show up in your marriage. If you needy, it's going to show up in your marriage. If your credit bad, it's going to show up. It's going to show up. I'm just saying. So these are things that single people can benefit from hearing. It's things that single people can benefit from hearing from married people that have gone through hell, but they're now resting in their happy place. And there's nothing wrong with telling the truth, man. I'm just saying. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. She says, there is a time and a place for everything, which means that there are times when you should include single people, and there are times when it could be just for married couples only. It's a preference, a choice of the individual that is hosting the event or controlling the conversation. That's true. All I'm saying is, it's certain things, yes, that only married people can relate to because you're married. That's what's understood, doesn't have to be explained. I'm just saying married people tend to exclude single people out of conversations that they can benefit from. That's all I'm saying. I have single friends all the time, ask me questions about, being married that I would not have voluntarily had with them, because sometimes you feel like, okay, they don't want to know. They don't care because these are, marital issues, or these are marital things, or what have you. But that's not true. That's all I'm saying. Because the Wifey Rehab is open to them all, even though I talk about married things. And let's if we were to keep it all the way 100, this is really about relationships. This is really about relational issues across the board, right? That's really what this is. So what I'm saying is, single people should be included in on the conversations. Yes, if you're talking about, and I kind of take that back. I mean, I don't even think that there are some conversations that are only for married people. I don't. Because at the end of the day, the two people in relationships that are in a marriage are still two people. So I just don't believe that, okay, this is only for them, this is only for them. So I retract that. I don't think that there are things that are only for married people. And why do I say that? Because people are cheated on, whether you're married or single. People have kids together, whether they're married or whether they're single. People are cohabitating that aren't married, but they're living life as they were, as if they were married. So I don't believe that. I believe that people can benefit from conversations that are had at the table across the board. So I retract that. No, I believe that we should all be able to have a conversation, whether it's about marriage, whether it's about being single, because guess what? Married people were once single people. So Boom. That's what I think. I think it's a universal issue. Yes, I think it's a universal issue. I think that it's a universal conversation that has to be had. I just do, because I believe the more these conversations take place, the happier and the more realistic, man, people will be in their marriages, because people enter in with these misconceptions. So I think that if we could have a conversation, a dialogue that can demystify some of those things for these people, that there will be a lot more happily married people, or a lot more people willing to work on their marriages, because it's a community. Like, this is what we do. It's what we do. That's why I said, yo, like, you got to be careful now of who you're talking to that's married. Don't talk to the listen. Listen, man, don't talk to the one that talked to her husband like he, something that she stepped in at the bottom of her shoe. Not her. Find you somebody else. But I'm just saying, I just believe that single people should be in on a conversation. You know what I'm saying? We can continue this, look, right here, because that's what I believe. I'm going to start a group for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to join my group, let me know, because I'm not forming no group. And y'all be talking about, don't be adding me to no group, Because, listen, I really want to have these conversations, because I believe in empowering people. I believe in empowering women most of all. And the only way to do that is from open conversation, open dialogue, and telling the damn truth. Like, stop lying to people. Or stop making people think that everything, is great and everything is better on this side and all of that. Stop that. It's work over here, man. Like, you sweat over here, man. Listen, So I just believe that these are conversations that all people can benefit from. And let me leave y'all with this. I've learned some things from some single people. I've learned some things from some single people. And I said that in the comment on that post. I said, man, a single person taught me how to keep my sexy. You know what I'm saying? Because, when you get married, you get a little content and, you just, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I learned that from a single person. And she was like, oh, girl, you, honey. And, and she dropped something on me, and I was just like, man, wow. That I still utilize to this day. So that's why I said, man, I believe that it's a conversation that needs to be had across the board. So I'm going to form my group, okay? Because we're going to talk about this kind of stuff, because I believe that the more we talk about this kind of stuff, the better people can be, better women can be prepared for marriage. And I just believe, I'm crazy enough to believe that through having these open dialogues, man, through sharing like real candid conversations, that there will be more happily married women, especially women that look like me. You know what I'm saying? So that's my heart. That's my desire. That's the Wifey Rehab. You know what I'm saying? So I love y'all. Thank y'all for, look, I'm going to read these comments and I'm going to, respond to them as well. But I appreciate you guys so much. I'm telling you, I appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for commenting below. Listen, we're going to get you together. Even if you married, like, I'm still in rehabilitation myself, okay? So I'm still learning and growing as well, but I appreciate y'all learning and growing with me. Thank you guys for being honest and open. Listen, and let me tell y'all this. Let me just give y'all this quick disclaimer. Like, I don't take anything personal. I value y'all's opinions. So just know, when you put your opinions down in the comment section, please don't take my comments to the left. It is definitely, not my intent, but I just believe that people should voice how they feel, voice their opinions and whatnot. So just know that it's all love, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate y'all so much. So I'll see y'all again right here next Monday night. We're going to do this thing one more time. Look, y'all hit me up with some topics. This was a good one. I just feel like this was an amazing one. I was not going to be on here for so long tonight, but you know, I love that y'all are interacting with me. Y'all know I love that so much. But listen, next time, invite your girlfriend, invite your single friend to join the Wifey Rehab. I'm about to start us a group, and we're going to be able to go in. Y'all going to be able to ask all the questions you want. We're going to be able to really have some great conversation that's real and that's going to really help you, that you're going to be able to get off of live and go apply right then and there. So I love y'all. Thank y'all for joining in again. I'm Nika Arnold Scott, and I'll see y'all on the flip side.